Greetings, Guardians of Dominion. Zeus here with another power-packed video. Today, we're diving into Guus, one of the most unique and versatile heroes in Hero Wars Alliance. He's more than just healing feathers and glowing animations. When used correctly, Guus can boost your entire team's physical damage, support with critical hits, and keep your frontline alive longer than you'd expect. But it takes the right strategy to unlock all that power. In this guide, I'll show you how to build around Guus, highlight the best team combinations, and reveal the secret to making his skills truly shine. Let's get started with how to build him right. When developing Guus, your number one priority is his physical attack stat. Because every bit of healing he provides scales directly from it. Without strong physical attack, his skills lose their full potential. Once that's in place, shift focus to survivability. Boost strength and health so Guus stays alive and keeps healing through the entire fight. And finally, add critical hit chance, not for damage, but for his fourth skill, which triggers healing and buffs every time Guus lands a crit. For skins, start with his default skin for strength, it gives both physical attack and health. Then move to Angel's skin for bonus health. And finish with the Gentleman's skin for toughness, which helps against all types of damage. In terms of skill upgrades, most players agree, save Peak for last. It can interrupt the healing loop by consuming the feather. So unless you're facing constant burst damage, it's not as valuable early on. For artifacts, prioritize the Ring of Strength first. It gives the most physical attack and also scales with strength. Then go for Warrior's Code to boost physical attack and critical hit chance. Golden Goose comes last, while it adds toughness, it doesn't directly affect healing. In glyphs, start with physical attack and strength. Then move to health and armor for durability. Critical hit chance should come last, it becomes effective only once Guus is stable and active long enough to trigger his healing loop consistently. With the foundation set, let's now break down Guus' skill set. Because understanding how they work together is key to unleashing his full potential. Guus' first skill triggers a powerful chain reaction. Every time it activates, it heals all allies, including Guus, for over 320,000 total health. It also applies a golden feather to each ally, boosting critical hit chance by 3,198. This feather doesn't just reset when reapplied, it stacks time. So if 5 seconds remain and a new feather is applied, the timer extends to 13 seconds. That allows Guus to keep the effect going for the entire battle. But only physical damage dealers benefit from the crit bonus. Magic and pure damage heroes gain nothing from it. That's why Guus works best in physical-based teams with heroes like Ishmael or Dante. One important note, the crit bonus is locked at the start of the fight. Based on Guus' physical attack at that moment. Even if he gains more power mid-battle, the bonus won't increase. Now let's talk about his second skill, which adds another layer of healing. When activated, Guus grants golden feathers to all allies standing in front of him. While the feather is active, every time those heroes take damage, they instantly heal for 13,800, regardless of how much damage they took. This healing triggers immediately, no cooldown, no delay. Even hits from behind or magic damage will activate it. While this skill targets the front line, remember, Guus' first skill can apply feathers to the backline too. Once they have a feather, they'll benefit from this healing just the same. The result? A consistent, passive healing loop that helps your whole team stay alive through sustained pressure, especially during drawn-out fights. Now, let's look at Peak, Guus' third skill and his emergency backup plan. This one only activates if a hero already has a golden feather. When that hero's health is about to drop below 25%, Guus instantly heals them for 113,000. Then, bonus healing is added based on how much time was left on the feather. 5,200 health for every remaining second. So if 5 seconds were left, that's an extra 26,000 healing added on top. But here's the catch: once peak activates, the feather disappears. That means the hero loses both the crit bonus and the reactive healing from damage. So yes, you save the hero, but you lose the long-term buffs in return. That's why this skill is usually upgraded last. It's situational, powerful when needed, but not something you want triggering in every fight. If Guus is doing his job right, most of the time, this skill shouldn't even need to activate. And finally, let's talk about Guus' fourth skill, the core of his synergy loop. Every time Guus lands a critical hit, he heals all nearby allies for 37,960. He also grants golden feathers to them, keeping the whole engine running. More critical hits mean more healing, more feathers, and more momentum. And it doesn't stop there. If an ally already has a feather and lands a critical hit, their crit damage increases by 37,960, based on Guus' physical attack. And if that hero belongs to the honor faction, they get an extra 10% crit damage on top. This turns Guus into a key enabler for crit-based teams. When paired with heroes like Sebastian, Julius, or Oya, who boost team-wide crit chance, Guus becomes a healing machine and damage amplifier. It all loops together. Crits trigger healing. Healing maintains feathers. Feathers boost crits. And the cycle continues. In the right lineup, Guus becomes the heartbeat of your team, keeping them alive, buffed, and dealing massive damage all at once. Now that we've covered how Guus works and how to build him, it's time to answer the most important question: who should you pair him with? Guus doesn't shine on his own. His full strength is unlocked when surrounded by heroes who can benefit from his feathers, healing, and synergy. Let's break down the top team combinations that bring out the best in Guus, from fast-paced brawlers to well-balanced formations. The first team features Kayla, Yasmin, Guus, Tempest, and Aiden. This is an explosive physical combo built for momentum. Kayla and Yasmin rely heavily on crits, and Guus feeds that with his feathers and passive healing. Aiden backs him up as a backline healer, doubling down on sustain. Tempest keeps control of the battlefield, freezing enemies while your damage dealers dive deep. The synergy is tight: offense, healing, and control work hand in hand. It's a fast-paced team that thrives on pressure and teamwork. The second team keeps Kayla, Guus, Tempest, and Aiden, but swaps Yasmin for Folio. At first glance, you're mixing physical with magic, but this team leans into control and disruption. Folio's ink clone distracts enemies, while his skill to shift the entire enemy formation throws off their rhythm. When combined with Tempest, it becomes a chaos combo, freezing and disorienting the enemy team. Kayla steps in during the confusion to deal heavy damage. Guus still provides healing and feathers, while Aiden keeps everyone alive. Even with a magic user in the mix, this team delivers burst and battlefield manipulation. For a more classic structure, try Julius, Dante, Guus, Peach, and Octavia. Julius tanks and boosts critical hits, creating a strong front line with synergy for Guus. Dante's pushback and range break enemy formations, while Guus enhances his crits. Peach hits hard through the front line, backed by Octavia's armor penetration and reflected energy. This team isn't as fast as others, but it's incredibly well-rounded. Every hero enhances the others, and Guus sits at the core, healing, boosting, and connecting the strategy together. Another strong combo is Oya, Qingmao, Guus, Lara, and Fafnir. This lineup layers physical buffs and pressure across all lines. Oya holds the front line with toughness and crowd control, while Qingmao reduces enemy armor and silences. Guus is protected in the middle, distributing feathers and sustain across the board. Lara jumps into the backline with area damage and stuns, scaling even higher when her crits land. Fafnir ties it all together with shields and attack buffs, amplifying damage for Qingmao and Lara. It's a high-impact team with excellent synergy from start to finish. The final lineup is Galahad, Oya, Tristan, Guus, and Polaris, a personal favorite. This team hits hard and fast. Galahad shines with Guus boosting his physical attack and crits. Tristan supports Galahad and Oya by raising frontline power, while Polaris stuns enemies and boosts total team damage by 50%. With Guus healing and applying feathers, the front three overwhelm opponents in seconds. Tristan and Polaris create the perfect setup, lockdown, then burst. By the time the enemy gets to act, it's often too late. These are some of the strongest combinations we tested. But the truth is, Guus works in dozens of setups. If your team relies on crits and physical pressure, Guus makes it better. He's not here to steal the spotlight, he's here to make your whole team shine. Now that we've seen what makes Guus so powerful, it's time to flip the perspective, and figure out how to shut him down. The biggest weakness Guus has is control. Stun effects are the most direct way to stop him. A well-timed stun prevents him from gaining energy, casting his skills, or applying golden feathers. Even a short interruption can throw off his healing loop and slow down his entire team's momentum. Add more control across the battlefield, and Guus becomes a non-factor. But stun isn't your only option. Jorgen and Amira are excellent energy disruptors. Jorgen drains Guus's energy, and delays his ultimate, breaking the healing cycle. Amira flips the script entirely, her skill fair deal turns critical hits into critical fumbles for agility-based heroes, like Kayla or Yasmin. That alone shuts down Guus's crit boosting value. Her careless wish also punishes health stacking, making Guus's buffs backfire into explosive damage. Jet and Celeste are both healing blockers. Jet disables health regeneration for 8 seconds, while Celeste's dark form completely prevents healing in her zone. Guus becomes almost useless when his healing is blocked. And for crit-heavy teams, there's Helios. He punishes every critical hit with fire, and when paired with Orion, who boosts magic penetration and targets high-health enemies, you can melt through Guus's team, especially if they rely on his buffs to survive. Guus is strong, but he's not invincible. Stun him, drain him, silence his healing, or punish his buffs. Once you break his rhythm, the entire team falls apart. Master the counterplay, and Guus becomes just another hero on the battlefield. So there you have it, Guardians, full breakdown of Guus from every angle. We've explored how to build him, how his skills synergize, the best team compositions to unleash his full potential. And most importantly, how to shut him down when you're facing him on the battlefield. Guus isn't just a healer, he's a strategic powerhouse who enhances the strengths of physical teams. Creates unstoppable momentum with feathers and crit buffs. And holds entire formations together. But as we've seen, the right counters can throw him off balance, and dismantle his impact. Now I want to hear from you. Have you built a team around Guus that's working wonders? Or maybe you've found a clever counter that shuts him down cold. Share your thoughts and favorite combos in the comments, let's learn from each other and grow as a community. If this video helped you better understand Guus and gave you ideas for your next team or counter strategy, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a tactical guide or meta update. Together, we're not just playing hero wars, we're mastering it. Stay sharp, stay creative, and as always, salute and friendship.